NFL fan bases are some of the most passionate, loyal, and, let's be honest, completely irrational people you'll ever meet. They live and die with every play, every draft pick, every bad call. And today, we're going to roast all 32 of them. So grab your jersey, brace yourself, and let's go division by division, team by team, through every fan base in the NFL. Buffalo Bills. Bills fans are loyal to the point of insanity. They've been tailgating in freezing wind, jumping through flaming tables, and screaming, "This is our year," since before most of their roster was born. 4 straight Super Bowl losses in the early 90s should have broken them, but instead it made them more convinced destiny owes them one. Josh Allen hurdles a linebacker? They're already planning the parade. Lose to the Chiefs in the playoffs again? We'll get them next year. Bills fans are convinced football's gods are just waiting for the perfect time to let them finally win. But until then, they'll keep breaking folding tables and their own hearts. Miami Dolphins. Dolphins fans live in a constant state of nostalgia. Mention 1972 and they'll light up like it happened yesterday. They'll tell you about the perfect season before you can even finish your drink. Every September, they start talking about finally being back. And every December, reality sets in. Tua throws 6 touchdowns, MVP. Lose 3 straight, the refs are against us. They still act like Dan Marino's coming out of the tunnel any minute. Dolphins fans are cool, loud, and always sunny on the outside. But deep down, they know it's been a long, long time since they've been truly dangerous. New England Patriots. Patriots fans are spoiled. 2 decades of Brady and Belichick turned them into the NFL's aristocracy. They'll act like they suffered through the lean years before 2001, but no one outside Boston is buying it. Even now, they still expect every rookie QB to turn into the next GOAT by week 3. Mac Jones struggled? He's just no Brady. The team goes 8-9, just wait till we get our guys back. They're used to dominating every conversation and every opponent, and they can't quite accept that the dynasty is over. Patriots fans aren't arrogant because they win. They're arrogant because they still think they will win, no matter how bad things look. New York Jets. Jets fans are professional sufferers. Broadway Joe gave them one magical moment in 1969, and they've been chasing that high ever since. Every new QB is the savior until he isn't. Mark Sanchez wins a couple playoff games, franchise QB. Aaron Rodgers takes his first snap, Super Bowl bound, until his Achilles popped 4 plays in. They'll chant JETS with their whole soul and boo the team off the field in the same quarter. Jets fans are passionate, loud, and ready to believe again every single year, no matter how many times they've been burned. And that's why they're both the most lovable and most tragic fan base in the league. Baltimore Ravens. Ravens fans are confident because they've seen greatness twice in a pretty short lifetime. Ray Lewis and Ed Reed gave them swagger, and Lamar Jackson keeps it alive. They love nothing more than proving people wrong, especially when the whole world says Lamar can't win in the playoffs. Every September, Ravens fans are calling themselves contenders, and every January, if it doesn't end in a Super Bowl, they're saying, next year, we're unstoppable. They take pride in their defense, their toughness, and reminding Steelers fans that their team is just as gritty, but more fun to watch. Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals fans are riding the Joe Burrow high like it's the best roller coaster they've ever been on. Before Burrow, they were stuck in Marvin Lewis purgatory. Good enough to make the playoffs, never good enough to win a game once they got there. Now, every time Joe Cool takes the field, they think it's destiny. Burrow gets hurt, panic sets in. Jamar Chase catches a bomb, nobody can stop us. They're new to this whole being a true contender thing, so they swing from we're cursed to we're winning it all in seconds. Cleveland Browns. Browns fans are tired. Years of heartbreak, jersey-length lists of failed quarterbacks, and the infamous move to Baltimore left scars that will never fully heal. But somehow, they're still here. The dog pound packs the stadium even when it's snowing sideways and the team is 4-12. They get hyped over a 3-0 start and act like it's proof the curse is over. Then the injuries come, the bad losses pile up, and it's back to, we'll get 'em next year. Browns fans have been through so much that even when things are going well, they're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers fans are everywhere. Seriously, you can't go to a grocery store in any state without spotting a terrible towel. 6 Super Bowls and a culture of winning turn them into one of the NFL's proudest fan bases. They expect a playoff berth every single year, no excuses. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. That's not a fun fact, that's a commandment. Lose to the Browns or Bengals. Doesn't matter, we'll still finish ahead of them. Steelers fans are loud, loyal, and fully convinced that every player on the roster bleeds black and gold just like they do. Houston Texans. Texans fans are suddenly loud because they finally have something to brag about. Years of being an afterthought turned into instant hope the moment C.J. Stroud started slinging the ball like a 10-year veteran. They're still figuring out what to do with this new success. Part of them wants to enjoy it. The other part is already talking dynasty. They've been through the Bill O'Brien years, the Deshaun Watson mess, and enough 4-12 seasons to last a lifetime. Now they feel like the rest of the league has to take them seriously, and they're not letting anyone forget it. Indianapolis Colts. Colts fans are stuck between nostalgia and cautious optimism. Peyton Manning made them kings. Andrew Luck gave them hope again. And then, nothing. Luck's sudden retirement still feels like a bad dream they can't wake up from. They want to believe Anthony Richardson is the next franchise QB, but they've been burned before. They'll still rock the blue and white no matter what, but they're always looking over their shoulder at the Manning years, wondering if they'll ever feel that magic again. Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags fans are scrappy because they've had to be. For years, their biggest claim to fame was having a swimming pool in their stadium. Now, they've got Trevor Lawrence and some actual expectations, which is dangerous because hope is new territory. They've survived blacked-out home games, losing seasons, and a brief Blake Bortles fever dream. When they win, they're the loudest people in Florida. When they lose, they vanish like they were never there. But deep down, Jags fans are just waiting for the day they can hold their first Lombardi and finally shut everyone up. Tennessee Titans. Titans fans are stubborn. They'll defend Derrick Henry like he's a mythological figure, even as he stiff-arms his way into the twilight of his career. They still talk about 1 yard short in the Super Bowl, like it happened last week. Whether the team's winning 12 games or losing 12 games, they'll still talk about how physical and tough the Titans are. They don't care if the rest of the league forgets about them. They'll just keep showing up, chewing on that underdog mentality like it's barbecue.
Denver Broncos. Broncos fans are impatient because they've tasted glory and can't stand irrelevance. 3 Super Bowl wins, John Elway's legend, Peyton Manning's swan song, they've seen the mountaintop. Now, they're stuck in QB purgatory, cycling through hopefuls like bad Tinder dates. Russell Wilson was supposed to save them, but Let's Ride turned into Let's Hide. They still pack Mile High and expect the Magic to come back any second, but they're getting restless. Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs fans are cocky, and with Patrick Mahomes, why wouldn't they be? 2 Super Bowls in the last few years turned Arrowhead into the center of the football universe. They'll tell you their stadium is the loudest, their QB is the best, and their tight end could probably run for president. They've been around through the bad years, but now that they're winning, they act like it's their birthright. Every loss is a fluke. Every win is proof we're a dynasty. And honestly, they might be right. Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders fans are pure chaos. Whether it's Oakland, LA, or Vegas, they bring the same wild energy. Silver and black is more than a color scheme. It's a personality trait. They could be 13-3 or 3-13, and the fan base will still roll up in spiked shoulder pads and face paint like it's a war zone. They're loyal to the point of madness and have zero patience for mediocrity, even though they've been living in it for most of the last 2 decades. Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers fans are rare, and most of them live in San Diego still bitter about the move to LA. They have one of the most exciting QBs in Justin Herbert, but their stadium still gets taken over by opposing fans every Sunday. They've had Hall of Famers, record breakers, and legendary talents, and somehow always find a way to lose in heartbreaking fashion. Chargers fans are used to the pain, but that doesn't make it any easier when it happens. Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys fans are delusional, in the most entertaining way possible. This is our year is less of a slogan and more of a personality trait. Every September, they're planning the Super Bowl parade, and every January, they're making excuses. They'll bring up their 5 rings in every argument, conveniently skipping the part where none of them happened this century.
Still, they're everywhere. They're loud. And they'll never stop believing the Cowboys are America's team. New York Giants. Giants fans live off their 2 Super Bowls against the Patriots, like they were personal miracles. They could go 4-13 and still tell you they're better than New England because of those wins. They've seen the highs, like Eli Manning's improbable runs, and the lows, like every offensive drive the past few years. They're loyal, but quick to boo. Because in New York, patience is for other people. Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles fans are intense, to the point of intimidation. They booed Santa Claus. They climb poles after big wins, and they treat every game like a fight for survival. Winning their first Super Bowl in 2017 only made them hungrier. They'll back Jalen Hurts to the end, but they'll also roast him if he has a bad game. The passion is unmatched, for better or worse. Washington Commanders. Commanders fans are patient survivors. They've endured decades of bad ownership, name changes, and constant mediocrity. They still fill FedEx Field in patches, still wear the old gear, and still hope that maybe, just maybe, the new ownership can finally restore some pride. They know better than to get too excited, but they also can't let go of the dream.
Chicago Bears. Bears fans are nostalgic dreamers. They'll talk about 1985 like it happened yesterday. Walter Payton like he's still carrying the ball. And Soldier Field like it's a sacred temple. Every new QB is the one, even though the position has been cursed for decades. They live for defense, hate the Packers, and will tailgate through a blizzard like it's nothing. Detroit Lions. Lions fans are eternal optimists, trapped in a loop of heartbreak. Decades of losing seasons, the wasted careers of Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson. And still, they kept coming back. Now, with a legit contender, they're louder than ever. They've waited their whole lives for this, and they're not taking a second of it for granted. Green Bay Packers. Packers fans are proud, traditional, and a little smug about owning their team. Lambeau Field is holy ground, and the QB lineage from Favre to Rodgers made them feel like they'd never suffer a rebuild. Now, with Jordan Love, they're trying to convince themselves the magic is still alive. Spoiler, they might be right. Minnesota Vikings. Vikings fans are cautiously hopeful, and they have to be. 4 Super Bowl losses, countless playoff heartbreaks, and some of the most bizarre collapses in NFL history have made them wary. They'll skull chant like it's their job, but they never get too far ahead of themselves. Experience has taught them that. Atlanta Falcons. Falcons fans are still haunted by 28-3. You could bring up any topic and somehow it'll lead back to that collapse. They've had exciting offenses, great players, and still can't shake the label of underachievers. Every lead feels unsafe, every playoff run feels cursed. But they keep showing up, hoping the next chapter will erase the old wounds. Carolina Panthers. Panthers fans are loyal but quiet. They've seen flashes of greatness, 2 Super Bowl runs, MVP Cam Newton, but nothing lasting. They're stuck between rebuilding and dreaming big, and they don't get the spotlight often. But they love their team, and they're not going anywhere. New Orleans Saints. Saints fans are passionate and creative. The Superdome is one of the loudest places in sports, and they'll show up in full costume just to make sure you know it. Drew Brees gave them a taste of the top, and now they want it again. They've turned Who Dat into an identity, and they'll shout it at anyone who doubts them. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucs fans are split into 2 groups, the ones who were there for the ugly years and the ones who hopped on during Brady's run. They've had some of the worst seasons in NFL history and some of the best. Either way, they love the pirate vibe, the cannons firing, and the chaos of being a team that's either really good or really bad, never in between. Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals fans are long-suffering realists. They've had Hall of Famers like Larry Fitzgerald, incredible playoff moments, and still no Lombardi. Every time they think they're close, something falls apart. Injuries, bad coaching, or just plain bad luck.
They stick around because hope is the only thing they can't lose. Los Angeles Rams. Rams fans are flashy and a little fair weather. They love the Super Bowl win. They love the celebrity crowd, but they disappear fast when things get ugly. They've moved cities twice in recent memory, but their core LA base loves the glam, the new stadium, and having a winner when the stars align. San Francisco 49ers. Niners fans are proud and relentless. 5 rings, a history full of legends, and a belief they're always just a step away from another title. They've suffered through heartbreaks, Super Bowl losses, NFC championship meltdowns, but they still talk about the dynasty years like they never ended. Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks fans are loud, loyal, and claim the title of loudest stadium like it's a trophy. The Legion of Boom era made them a powerhouse, and the 12s haven't stopped roaring since. They'll never get over that goal line interception in Super Bowl XLI9, but they'll still tell you this is one of the best fan bases in football.
So there you have it. Every NFL fan base, roasted equally. Whether you're loyal, delusional, heartbroken, or just here for the tailgate, you make the NFL what it is. If you laughed, got mad, or maybe felt personally attacked, hit that like button, drop a comment about your team, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.